a lot of people got a lot of negative to say about Jay, but Jay in business, and I feel like this is the God honest truth, and I'm not saying this because this is my brother. I practice what I preach. Jay business motto to me has always been honesty and integrity with everything. He ain't never robbed nobody. And I did the same thing with my artists. Like I remember, you know, when I signed Casanova, Manolo Rose, and all these other artists that I signed, you know, Huey V, everybody, you know, that 360 deal came out, everybody wanted publishing, everybody wanted this, everybody wanted that. I told people, listen, the same deal I had is the same deal I gave all my artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where we don't touch none of that. So we kept it fair across the board. And
Bleek just said the quiet part out loud, and the business does not like when this gets said. For years, there's been a narrative around Jay-Z in business. Bad deals, shady contracts, artists getting played. And now Memphis Bleek is finally speaking on it from the inside. Not rumors, not blogs, but first-hand experience from the Rockefeller era when everything was changing behind the scenes. Peter Gunz then broke down what it was really like inside those offices with his son Cory Gunz. The pressure, the power shifts, Jay-Z moving to Def Jam, artists waiting in line just to be heard, and the moment he realized how cold the music business actually gets when leverage disappears. I'm about to play this clip for y'all. But before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave y'all thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I remember when Gunz first signed to Rockefeller, I spoke to you. You like, yo, I appreciate y'all, man. Hold my son down.
Because he said it. Bleek, he said he spoke to you. And you greenlit it.
Yep. I'm like, yo, listen, Gunz, we need him, man. I'm mad. It was the transition to Rockefeller at that time when Jay was going to Def Jam, so a lot of shit happened at that time.
I think it was a lot of things for him, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Jay, hold on, because I got to clear this up. A lot of people don't know this. Tommy Mottola asked Jay to sign Cory. We were signed to Tommy. He said, I think you can help this kid. They don't get it. But you got to remember, when we got there, everybody was on Hove. Hove got it. We need. And I went to have a meeting with him. And it was a line around the corner like the God. Remember the Godfather? Everybody was having their time to meet with him.
Sitting there,
B was even in the office. So I was like, we in Guru office waiting for our turn, like everybody else. So I could say what's going on with Core. And one of the young gunners was there. And he was waiting for his time, and he was like really complaining to Guru. I don't know them. I never really met them, man. There's no shade to them. But they was there to see Hov for something. And they had to wait, and it was like frustrating for them. And I looked at Core. I said, yo, if these niggas is having a hard time up here, and that nigga's having a hard time with it, we need to get up out of here. So when I got the Hov office, he was sitting on this side of the desk, and I was over there, and he said, Gunz, come over here. I don't even feel right talking to you from behind this desk. And he was like, what do you want to do, man? I said, yo, we just gonna get up out of here. He said, it's cold out there, my nigga. You sure? I said, yeah, because in my mind, we gonna just walk to another deal. Because Cory was like that. He was like, is that what you want? Won't you just turn them up in the building and they'll get behind him? I was like, nah, man, we'll just get up out. He said, I'll tell you what, meet me at Cielo and we'll talk about this in Cielo. So I met him at Cielo. He said, what you want? I said, just give us the rest of the budget to eat on. Let us get the music. And I asked for one more thing. He said, done. And he made it. I called Jay Brown, said, make this happen. And that's how we got out of there. And, you know, he went to Young Money. But long story short, he didn't have to do that. They could have just fucking held us on. But he let me know, I'm leaving. So whatever you want to happen need to happen now. Oh, let us out.
Nah, that's a fact.
And so, you know, shout out. People got a lot of shit to say, but that man let us go. At first, he could have been like, nah, turn him up in the building and figure it out. He's like, nah. But, you know, I knew him before all of this. We both
we toured together, bro. I remember when we had Ain't No Nigga and y'all had the major smoker. We was coming out first and y'all was shutting it down after. Like, nigga.
He was giving me advice then.
Yeah,
he
like.
said, don't, because I was doing a separate album with Tariq. He said, nah, y'all got to stay together, do another one. But, you know, he was so when seeing him in the office, it didn't feel right for us to be having that kind of conversation. Like that. And I felt, niggas would say, how could you feel bad for him? I felt bad because when you get in a position, you got to tell even the people, like he knew 100 years before me. He got to be like, yo, he's trying to, it was I wouldn't have wanted that job.
No.
I felt, after I saw that, I was like, damn.
That's why when he said that line, heavy is the head that wears the crown, I'm like, he ain't never fucking lied, boy.
But I knew, if he leaving, we need to get the fuck out of here now because they don't care about. I think the only reason I'm even ever having this meeting with Jay is because of Jay or Guru. So if he leave, Guru going with him, who the fuck we got? The same people telling us what we need to do. So I took the, we walked over, we went to a couple labels and they was like, no. I said, damn, Jay was right. It's cold out here.
Yeah, no, the industry is bad.
Call. And it was more, shout out to my nephew, Jim. I never give him credit, but Jim was out in New Orleans and talking to Mac Main and all like, yo, Cory, free agent. And so I think my nephew Jim is the real reason that Cory got signed.
That's what's up, man. Shout out Mac Main, Wayne and them. That's the fam for sure, man. Like fucking one thing I wanted to add on too, a lot of people got a lot of negative shit to say about Jay, but Jay in business, and I feel like this is the God honest truth, and I'm not saying this because this is my brother. I practice what I preach. Jay business motto to me has always been honesty and integrity with everything. He ain't never robbed nobody. And I did the same thing with my artists. Like I remember, when I signed Casanova, Manolo Rose, and all these other artists that I signed, Huey V, everybody, that 360 deal came out, everybody wanted publishing, everybody wanted this, everybody wanted that. I told people, listen, the same deal I had is the same deal I gave all my artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where we don't touch none of that. So we kept it fair across the board, and that's one thing how I was raised. So I like that, what you said, like how Hov let you go is...
Anybody that has anything bad to say about the dude, I eyebrow.
Yeah.
Because how could you not be proud of this dude coming from where we... And when I say where we come from, I'm not talking about just... I'm talking about New York, the streets, that like if I
just from the bottom, man.
And... Still, he's in the one spot for me. So there's certain rappers when they do a top 5, you can put them in that position, and I won't argue with you. If you say, yo, Gunz, my top 5 is Andre 3000, I'm not gonna argue.
That's right.
I got Kiss in my top 5.
That's right.
He's been in a one spot for me. So, but it's hard, yo. Let me say this to you: when you got what you got, and you that level of an artist, it's and then. People say, "Yo, New York, y'all just Jay-Z for y'all, New York." But, I got 3000 in my top 5 as well.
That's a fact.
Scarface is my favorite storyteller. Him and Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Those two.
Tupac not from New York. What they say about that?
He is from New York, baby.
Oh
His
yeah,
first
he
rap
is.
was in New York.
Yeah,
man.
he is from New York.
Yeah,
My bad. I fucked up. My bad. West Coast took him from us. Though.
Yeah, they got it. He where you say
they hijacked him.
My honest takeaway is this: 2 things can be true at the same time. Jay-Z has been criticized for years by people like Dame Dash and 50 Cent. And those critiques didn't come from nowhere. Power changes relationships. Business exposes tension. That part is real. Hearing how Jay-Z handles situations like the Cory Gunz situation adds balance that usually gets ignored. Letting the artist walk, giving budget instead of trapping them in paperwork, that's not the move of somebody trying to squeeze every single dollar. That's somebody protecting leverage and their reputation. In hip-hop, reputation is currency. Jay-Z became a hip-hop billionaire by playing long-term equity games instead of chasing short-term record money. I don't hear Bleek defending a myth. I hear somebody explaining how business looks from inside the room. No villains, no angels, just decisions. So let me ask you all this. Do you think Memphis Bleek's perspective changes how you see Jay-Z's business moves compared to what Dame Dash and 50 Cent have said for years? After hearing how Jay-Z handled Cory Gunz, does that shift where you personally place Jay-Z when it comes to artist treatment and legacy? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.